Hello and welcome. This is FIDE Master Vedant Goswami. Today we are going to see some interesting attacking ideas in the King's Gambit. So one of the most attacking openings in chess, favorite of great players like Adolf Andersson and Paul Morphy and many modern players. So we'll explore the opening with the idea of understanding the basic concept of the opening and the attacking ideas that can originate from the common responses that black can do. And to do that, we are seeing one of the games from the Greco analysis, the first person in the history of chess to analyze chess games to show how pieces should play, what are the basic concepts, and how a attacking game of chess should be conducted. And this Greco analysis, as we know, was done in the 16th century. So let us see. So white starts with e4, black replies with e5 and f4. The start of the King's Gambit, a very aggressive opening with some very interesting concepts. Okay, so pawn takes, and bishop c4. So white has played the opening very originally, but also it looks little fishy. It's difficult to understand. So white has simply gave up a pawn on f4 and also is inviting this dangerous check. Now this check cannot be parried by g3 because black can just capture, and if white captures back, white ends up losing the rook and the game. So this is not the idea. So it is quite strange when you look at it for the first time, because white has given up a pawn, his right to castle. Okay, so very important things. But what is the concept? So basic idea is white now has a pawn majority in the center. If you see, he has two pawns in the center. And also by offering a pawn and a check, white has basically encouraged black to forget the basic opening rules. White is saying to black, okay, you forget about the rules, you just take some pawn, forget about your development, and just do what I am trying to make you do, which is waste your time. And in this position, if you play this opening, most of the time, the move that will be played by black, particularly if black is not a very experienced player, mostly a beginner, this is a very interesting move because, in one move, you are threatening checkmate. So it's a very happy moment for black because, black is about to win the game. But in fact, this move is a mistake. And now the pushback starts. So white plays d4, the move with a tempo, blocking the range of the bishop, opening his diagonal for the bishop to attack f4 at some time, and gaining time. Let us say now black has to protect the bishop, and we play nf3. So we see how the game is slowly turning on its head. Now, instead of black having the initiative, now suddenly, if you see the position, white has better control of the center, better development, and he has been now gaining time. So now queen has to move, and queen goes to e7. Okay, and because queen d8 would be a total non-development, and if queen goes to g4, we again have a very similar tactics which happened in the game. Bishop into f7, and king takes f7, and knight e5, and it is a knight fork. It's a royal fork, and white wins the queen. Okay, so black goes queen e7, and white continues with bishop f4. So very interesting moment in the game. And also, I can share some more traps here. Let us say a very interesting idea would be king f2. Because a lot of times, particularly if you're playing with beginners, people who don't have experience, they just keep grabbing material. And in this case, if black does that, you can simply make a pin and you're already winning the game. So this is a very common theme to remember and be a part of your tactical arsenal. So bishop into f4, queen into e4. Now, because the king is blocking the path of the rook, the same rook even pin is not possible, but white has this additional tactic, bishop into f7. Again, with the same idea that if king takes, knight g5 will win the queen with a double attack. So already, if you see, white's pieces are much more active, much more better developed, and white has the potential for further quick development. We'll see how Greco concludes the game. So king goes to f8. Of course, the bishop cannot be captured. King goes to f8. Bishop g3. So white protects the bishop, which could have been captured. The bishop on f7 is still a taboo because of the fork on g5. Knight h6, and white plays nc3, a very good move, developing another piece with a tempo. Queen e7. So at this point, I think it is very interesting to notice how the game has totally turned on its head. Initially, it looked like white has lost a pawn, he has gave up the right for castling, but with a few tempo moves, the game is totally turned on its head, and white is almost having a decisive advantage because black king is totally not safe. So c6, an interesting move, planning to play d5 and making this wall of pawn to prevent the bishop from attacking the king. White plays queen d3, a very good move, a hallmark of an experienced player, of a master, bringing all the pieces into the game. d5, and now rook e1. Again, very interesting, very important to notice if you are a first-time learner, how white is using every move, every opportunity to bring new pieces into the game. The queen goes to f6, bishop h4, again an attacking move, queen g6. And now, if you see, a lot of white pieces are ready to attack, and Greco finishes off the game with a very nice continuation. Bishop e7, king g8, queen into g6, pawn into g6, and now the very beautiful breakthrough, knight into d5. We have to open the bishop. The king is in a bad position, and white needs a breakthrough to bring all the pieces into the game. So pawn takes, bishop into d5 is a check, king h7, and now a beautiful finale with knight g5. So amazing game, very interesting game, particularly the first few moves to understand the concept of one of the most dangerous openings in chess, the King's Gambit. So I hope you enjoyed this masterpiece from Greco, and you will find the opening tricks and opening ideas which I took you through to be useful in your games. Thank you so much for watching. Do subscribe for the upcoming lessons. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one.